What's up, Fragrance family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today I'm bringing you a tag video. That's right, I was tagged by my boy John Murrell. So if you want to see what this video is all about, be sure and keep it right here. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tyler. This is my channel, Simply Fragrances, where we talk everything fragrance related. That's right, we're doing giveaways, we're doing top 10 videos, we're doing seasonal videos, we're doing interviews, everything that encompasses fragrances. So if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of and you haven't subscribed yet, no worries, just go ahead, hit the red subscribe button, and then we will become the part of the Fragrant family. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support you have shown the channel over the past year. We are still climbing, guys. We're well on our way to the milestone of 1,000, so let's keep this channel going and we'll get there in no time. So like I said, I was tagged by my main man John Murrell at John Murrell Fragrance Reviews. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel in the description below. Be sure and go pay him a visit. He has tagged me, and this is gonna be a fragrance starter kit. Now this is really cool because like I've done videos like this before where there's always a catch. So it's like, you know, how would you start your fragrance, you know, collection with only 150 bucks or with $500 or less, or you know, with this or that. This one, I don't think there's really any rules. I watched his video twice just to make sure, but there was no like, you know, hey, you have to do this, or you have to stay under this limit, or you have to have this many for this season, this whatever. It's kind of a free-for-all, so we're really excited about this. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna make this also a tag video, so be sure and stick around to see who I tag. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in seasons and then different occasions. So I'll start with spring and then we'll work our way forward. So the first one on the list for the springtime. So for spring, this was actually really hard for me to choose because I knew it's a starter kit video, and so I didn't want to, you know, break the budget or break the bank, so to speak, because there's some great niche fragrances. But I tried to, you know, keep niche out of here just because when you're getting started, you might not want to spend that much money, but you still want to smell good. So I think I got you covered with, this is Versace Man Oh Fresh. Now, I love this fragrance. If you've been part of the channel for any length of time, you know that this was one of my very first, what I would consider back then expensive fragrances, because I didn't know anything about, you know, discounted sites or anything like that. And being 19, 20 years old, spending, you know, 80 something dollars on cologne, I thought that was hot stuff. But man, this stuff, it's just so fresh. Like, it's literally in the name, Man Oh Fresh. It's just very light, crisp, citrusy. It's got star fruit in there. It's got some pink pepper. It's just an amazing, amazing fragrance. So I think that for the springtime, Versace Man Oh Fresh definitely has to be in your starter kit. All right, guys, so moving right along. So we are going from spring into summer. Now, summer was kind of a harder one for me to pick because, like, at least here in southern Missouri, it gets super hot and super humid, super sticky. And so I was like, man, I want to go with something super light. But I was also thinking, you know what? Not everyone lives in southern Missouri. Not everyone lives in the southern part of the United States. So I wanted to encompass something that I think is going to be light, crisp, and fresh, but it's also going to have some legs behind it. And it's not just going to be something super just dominantly citrus. So I think I made a good choice when I went with Yves Saint Laurent. Why? Now, the reason why I went with this one is, yes, it is light, crisp, fresh, and citrusy, but it's also got like a blue style kind of fragrance tone to it. There is just a little bit of a musky undertone to it. There's a bit of a woody nuance in there in the dry down, and I love this stuff. But this stuff, it's so light and fresh in the opening. It just invigorates you. Very, very astringent. Just, man, super, super fresh blast of fresh citrus. But like I said, as it dries down, it does have some woody nuances in there that's gonna, you know, it's gonna make it last more than a couple hours, because that's kind of the give and take you get with, you know, those fresher, citrusy fragrances. Yeah, they smell great and, you know, they smell very fresh, but they last maybe 1 to 2 hours and then they're gone. This one, I get at least 6, 7, maybe sometimes even 8 hours of use of it, depending on how many sprays that I do. So for the summertime, I went with Yves Saint Laurent. Why? Alright guys, so next on the list, we're going into the season of fall, and fall is probably my favorite time of the year. I love it. The leaves start to change, the weather starts to get cooler, and you know, everything just becomes super, super beautiful, at least for a couple weeks. You get the trees that are just gorgeous, and then everything starts to kind of die off. But for those first few weeks, man, it is just absolutely gorgeous. So with fall, it's one of those one of the seasons where you can kind of get away with, you know, wearing cooler weather fragrances while still, you know, having some warmer fall days and, you know, maybe wanting to wear something a little bit more fresh. So I think I made a really good choice when I went with Boss Bottled number 6. Now this has been known as kind of the apple pie fragrance, so to speak. So this one, it really does resemble some sort of apple pie dessert. It's got that cinnamon and woody notes in here, but it's also got some fresh apple in here. I mean, it really does just remind me of fall. I love this stuff. I wore this last Thanksgiving, and it really encompassed just the season and the festivities of what was going on, because you get all the warm apple pie desserts mixed in with that cinnamon and nutmeg, but you get the fresh apple in here. And man, I couldn't think of a better fragrance to choose for the fall, at least for a starter kit, than that fragrance, because you get kind of the warmer tones to it with that, you know, cinnamon and vanilla, and you get some nutmeg in here. But then you also, on those, you know, kind of, I want to say hot fall days, but the days where you can get up into, you know, maybe the early 80s, mid 80s, somewhere in there, 85, somewhere in there, and it gets just a little bit kind of warm. That fresh, crisp apple in here is going to get you where you need to be. So honestly, I think that Boss Bottled number 6 had to be my choice. All right, guys, so moving right along, that brings us into the winter months, and I wanted to go with something that, you know, it wasn't just your typical winter smell where it's just going to smell super, you know, dark, heavy, you know, very spicy, or maybe a lot of leather. I wanted something that's still going to smell really good, kind of fresh, but at the same time, it does kind of have those, you know, darker, woody nuances to it, maybe even, you know, some leather in there. So my choice for that was Halloween Man X. Now, this one is a very unique fragrance because it honestly opens up just a little bit fresh. And I've heard a couple other people say that this kind of reminds them of Ultramall in the opening, and I can kind of sort of see that it is a little bit sweet in the opening. But what really does it for me is the tobacco and the coffee note in here. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. Opens up kind of, like I said, kind of fresh and citrusy, just a smidge, and then as it dries down, I'd say within, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, you're really getting that tobacco and coffee note in here. But there's almost like this blue style of a fragrance to it. Like, it's kind of a unique fragrance, honestly. It really does take, at least me, on a journey. I love this stuff. It's very, very strong, very, very potent. I'm talking maybe 3 to 4 sprays and you're good for, you know, 8 to 10 hours. At least that's what I'm getting off my skin. I haven't got too many chances to wear it yet because it is so hot, but I'm really looking forward to wearing this in the wintertime. I think it's going to be honestly an amazing winter fragrance, and it's super cheap, guys. All right, guys, so now that we're done with the seasons, you might be thinking, man, what is he gonna pick on here? What other fragrances can you talk about? Well, don't worry, I got you covered, guys. I got different occasions to go through. Now, the first one on here, I think this is more important than what we realize, especially for frag heads, or especially for people who are just wanting to get into it, not wanting to spend a lot of money, but they still want to smell good everywhere they go, even if they're just running to the gas station or to the grocery store. So this one, I'm going to call, this is my anytime, anywhere. This is what you wear when you just want to go to Walmart, or, you know, you just got to run a couple errands, maybe go to the post office. You want to wear something, but you don't want to wear something that, you know, is expensive or it's going to last super long. So you want to smell clean and fresh, but you don't want to break the bank. Guys, Mont Blanc Starwalker. This is a fragrance. I honestly think this is the perfect errand fragrance. Like, if you're gonna run some errands, just kind of go out, you know, do a quick couple of things, go to the grocery store, do some shopping, stuff like that, where you're not gonna be just, you know, in one location for a super long time. This is gonna get you covered, guys. Super fresh, super bright. It's got bamboo in here, and it is just absolutely amazing. It is discontinued, but you can still get it for like 25, 26 bucks for this 2.5 ounce. That's the biggest they come in. I wish they came in like, honestly, like a 10-gallon bottle, because I love this stuff. I've got 5 backup bottles. I'm kind of the face for this fragrance. I mean, I've got so many people onto this fragrance, and all but one have said that they really, really enjoy this. So Mont Blanc Starwalker, if you want something just to kind of wear, maybe just going to the grocery store, going out, running a couple of errands, I think that is the perfect fragrance for you to wear. All right, guys, so next on the list, this is going to be your formal fragrance. So this is going to be something that you want to wear for formal occasions, like whether it's a wedding, whether it's a business meeting, you know, a big partner meeting, maybe with, you know, CEOs, stuff like that. Something that you need to wear a suit and tie, or maybe you just need to dress up and let people know that you mean business. And you want to smell good, but you also want them to know, hey, you know, I'm a man's man and I'm here to do business. Well, I think that this fragrance is definitely definitely gonna get you taken care of, guys. It's a niche fragrance, but guys, it's under 150 bucks. In fact, you can get this size, I wanna say for like around 100 bucks, 110, somewhere in there. I'll have to price, I'll check the prices. I'll leave the price up there for you so that way you know for sure. But guys, this comes from the house of Zaharoff, and this is Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. I love this stuff, guys. It doesn't look like I put much of a dent, but as you can see, I have all these fragrances behind me, plus all the ones that I've shown you. So I have well over 200 fragrances, and for me to use even just that amount of juice in the short period of time I've had it really speaks volumes about this fragrance, guys. It is a classic gentleman fougere type of fragrance, but it has a modern day twist to it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This has a beautiful juicy pear note in here. It's got frankincense and myrrh and oud and lavender, guys. This stuff, you mean business when you wear this, and it is just, man, in my opinion, it is a quintessential formal occasion fragrance. If you mean business, you need to dress up and look the part, this is going to get you covered, guys. You're going to get compliments, and honestly, you don't have to spray a lot. I'm thinking 3 to 4 sprays, you're good for those occasions, and people are going to be smelling you thinking, man, this guy, he smells well put together and he means business. So Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme, that is my formal occasion fragrance. All right, guys, so kind of keeping along that same theme, so to speak, this is going to be the date night fragrance. So something that you're still going to maybe dress up, but you're not maybe going to wear a suit and tie. Who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe that's who you are. Great. I applaud you for that. So, but you're still going to want to dress up. You're still going to want to look the part. You want to impress your date. You also want to smell the part. Now, this is a quintessential date night fragrance. Even John Murrell put this on his video, so I apologize, but I couldn't not put this in the video, guys. It is called the perfect date night fragrance for a reason, so you probably guess what I'm talking about. This is Dolce Gabbana, the one EDP. I tried really hard not to put some of the same fragrances that he put in his video, but guys, this stuff is just too darn good not to be in here. It is so amazing, guys. It's got this, man, beautiful tobacco note in here, very woody, very spicy, and it's got this top note in here of basil, which is very unique. I wouldn't think that I would smell the basil, but once you kind of get your nose trained, you can really smell that basil in here, and it really kind of ties it together, and it gives it just this smoothness to it. And I love this stuff, guys. So very woody, very spicy, a lot of tobacco in here, kind of just this honey caramel type of scent, if you will. But this stuff is an amazing date night fragrance. Now, people do say that they don't get very good performance, but honestly, I think they just go nose blind to it. I mean, I go nose blind to it. I don't really smell it on me after, probably 30, 45 minutes or so, but it is pushing out and it is projecting. My wife loves this stuff. I honestly, at least around my wife, she said that she smelled me up to, 6, 7 hours after I've sprayed it. So, a lot of those people who are saying that they only get, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I personally believe that they just go anosmic to it. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone, but that's the performance that I'm getting, and guys, it is amazing. So a perfect date night fragrance to me is Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP. All right, guys, so keeping along those same type of lines, maybe dressing up a little bit, I wanted to give you guys a great office fragrance. So in the office, maybe you're wearing just some slacks and a nice button-up t-shirt, nothing too crazy, but you still want to look the part, you still want to smell great while you're at work, and you want something that's going to last, the whole work shift. So, anywhere from, 6 to 8 hours, this has definitely got you covered. And I was going to go, honestly, I really was going to go with Prada L'Homme, but everyone picks that, so I wanted to go with something kind of in the same ballpark, and you'll see what I mean here in a second, kind of in that same ballpark, but it still has some freshness to it, and you're gonna get some legs to it. It's gonna last you all day, guys. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Versace Arrows. Now, what do I mean by that? It's in the same ballpark as the Prada L'Homme. Prada L'Homme is a very powdery style fragrance, and this does have a lot of powder to it. Opens up, it's got this beautiful lemon, beautiful citrusy lemon in here with some powdery accords, and it's got this mint note that is just absolutely amazing. This stuff is gorgeous, guys. I love this stuff. And speaking of which, shout out to John for sending me this stuff. This has been on my radar for quite some time. I just never really got a chance to get it. I don't know why I didn't, but I love this stuff. So shout out to you, John, for sending this to me. This stuff is awesome. Now, this is a powerhouse, so be careful with how many times you spray this. This stuff will fill a room quick, but it'll also get you throughout the workday. So in my humble opinion, I think that 3 sprays, especially in an enclosed office space, that's gonna be plenty, and you're gonna get a great amount of performance off of this, and it projects very, very well. I went with, I think, 5 sprays one time, and I outsprayed myself. I gave myself a headache, so this stuff is very, very strong. So keep that in mind, but I think that Versace Arrows is a great office style fragrance. All right, guys, so we're down to the last 3 fragrances. Thank you so much for sticking around this far. I do appreciate that. So this next fragrance, I wanted to have a fragrance that's just kind of fun. Like maybe you'd wear it to a party, maybe you'd wear it to like a family gathering, or, you know, something of that, where it's just gonna be, you know, maybe festive or fun. Maybe you're going out to, who knows, an amusement park, just kind of going out, hanging out with your boys or your friends or whatnot. You're just about to have a really good time, and you wanna smell fresh, you wanna smell clean, but you also wanna let people know that you're there. Guys, I think this is a perfect fragrance for that, and you'll see why here in a second, guys. This is from Sensual Obsessions, and this is King of Kings. Now, much like John Murrell, he said that, you know, when you come into the FragCom, everyone's gonna be talking to you about, you gotta get Aventus, you gotta get Creed's Aventus, you gotta get Aventus, and there is thousands probably of knockoffs of Aventus, but this one, in my opinion, my humble opinion, this is by far the closest rendition to Creed's Aventus that I've smelled to this day. Now, John Murrell, he put Mont Blanc Explorer, great alternative to Creed's Aventus. I love that fragrance. Honestly, one of the reasons why I didn't put it in here is because he already chose it. So, but this one to me is the best Creed Aventus cologne, inspiration, however you want to say it. This stuff means business. So this is going to open up very, very, very juicy, fresh, tart pineapple, and it does have that black currant in there to kind of give it just a little bit of smoke to it. But this is based off of a very, very fruity batch of Creed Aventus. So if you're looking into getting something in the realm of Creed Aventus, you don't want to spend the money, this has definitely got you covered, guys. This is like 35 bucks, 40 bucks, somewhere in there for 30 ml. You really can't beat that, guys. It smells, in my opinion, 99% close to Creed's Aventus. This is pretty much spot on, guys. You can't go wrong with it. But I put it in here not only because of Creed Aventus, but it's just a fun fragrance, guys. I love wearing that stuff. It puts me in a happy mood. It makes me think of summer. It makes me think of, you know, just hanging out with my boys, barbecuing, drinking a couple beers, you know, just, you know, hanging out and having fun with your friends. But also great for the party scene, great for, you know, just kind of going out and just having a good time. So I think that Sensual Obsessions King of Kings, if you're looking for Aventus or you just want a fun, happy fragrance to wear out when you're having fun, it's gonna get you covered, guys. All right, so the next fragrance on here might seem kind of like a weird category, but I think it's very important that each man honestly has a masculine fragrance. So all these are definitely masculine, especially, you know, Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme, but I think that there needs to be a classy, sophisticated type of, you know, gentleman's smell. Now, it doesn't mean that it's dated or it smells like, you know, a barbershop or a fougere type of fragrance, but every man needs to have a fragrance in his collection that just, man, that's a great masculine scent. It's not overbearing, it's not too sweet, it's not too loud, it's just right. Now, I wear this a lot, honestly, if I'm going, you know, to have, you know, dinner by myself, say the wife is, you know, hanging out with some of her girlfriends, or, you know, maybe she's out doing something and about, and I want to get some food or something like that, you know, I'll put this on, I'll wear it, and it just makes me feel masculine. It makes me feel clean, it makes me feel fresh, but I feel masculine when I wear it, guys. And this might kind of be a little bit of a surprise, but this has made quite a few of my videos in the past. I love this stuff, guys. This is John Vervedos, the original. This, to me, it just is a great gentleman's fragrance. Like, it's not dated, it's not, you know, overly masculine, but it's just the right amount. Like, it just smells like a man's fragrance. It's very, very unique. Nothing really smells like this. It does have date fruit in here, so it kind of does have a unique kind of a smell to it. Got some cashmere in there, guys. Very, very unique, but also very, very good smell. Nothing really smells like this, and I personally think that every man needs kind of that masculine fragrance that just makes him feel like a man's man. So John Vervedos, the original, I think it's got you covered. All right, guys, so we're down to the last fragrance. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate that. Now, this one might seem, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it, this is my bonus fragrance. John, he kind of had a bonus fragrance. This is gonna be my bonus category. So in my humble opinion and in my own personal taste, I love barbershop fragrances. Now, you could argue that Zaharoff is, a great barbershop fragrance, and I would definitely not disagree. It is a great barbershop fraiche fragrance, but I think that everyone, at least in my opinion, needs to dabble into the barbershop style of fragrances, just because I think that it's nostalgic. It tells us where the fragrances have really come from. It kind of gives us a glimpse back into the past of where fragrances were and where they're at now, and maybe even to where they're going into the future. And it just pays homage to those fragrances. Now, I love barbershop fragrances, so in my opinion, I think that every guy that is getting into the fragrances, and especially just starting out, they need to dabble into the barbershop style. It's nostalgic. It's where fragrances for men really started to come from. So man, I really think that this one is, in my opinion, a great category. So what fragrance did I choose for the barbershop style fragrance? I went with Gravitas Purim. Now, this is the other niche fragrance that's on here. This one is a little bit more expensive than Zaharoff. I think I got it for 120. I think now it goes for, I want to say 125, 130, maybe even 135, somewhere in there. I got mine last year or the year before last, and it's kind of gone up a little bit, but this stuff is absolutely amazing. It does have that barbershop style fragrance to it, but it also does have a little bit more of a modern twist to it. Very bright, fresh, creamy citrus in the opening, and kind of honestly throughout just the life of the fragrance, that creamy citrus really kind of just sticks to it, but you do get that barbershop style of fragrance to it. So I think, oh man, this is just amazing. Great fragrance for the spring and fall as well. This could easily replace, spring and fall, but I wanted to give it its own category because I think that it's important to at least know where you've been, at least know where the fragrances have come from, and maybe even a lot of why the fragrances we have nowadays smell like they do. So I think the barbershop style fragrance is very important, so that's why I went ahead and put it in there. I think every man needs to at least dabble into that. So Gravitas Purim, that was my choice for it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Like I said, this was a tag video, so now I gotta tag some people. So I'm gonna I'm gonna tag Mike from I Smell. I wanna see what your fragrance starter kit would be. I'm also gonna tag Michael from the Fragrance Wardrobe. I wanna see what your starter kit fragrance pack would be. And then I'm gonna tag, who else? I'm gonna tag one more person. I'm gonna tag Mr. JP from JP Frags. I wanna see what all of your guys' starter kit fragrance list would be. There's no limit. There's no, you have to have this for this occasion, this for that season. It's whatever you guys think that someone who is just getting started into fragrances needs to have, and give, a description as to why. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Be sure and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with the list, and I will catch you guys next time. And remember, if you love it, wear it.